Broadcasting live from the Albay Pio News Center, providing you the most exclusive news updates from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, 1,400 children in Kamalig Albay have started to receive Nutriban under the Supplemental Feeding Program of the Department of Social Welfare and Development 5, the SWD Bicol. Dean Flores, Kamalig Information Officer, said the feeding program is for 120 days, which started over the weekend, and the beneficiaries are 1,391 children aged 3 to 5 and enrolled in different child development centers or daycare centers in Kamalig. Flores said the Municipal Social Welfare and Development Office, MSWDO, through the child development workers, distributes the Nutriban to a total of 50 daycare centers in the town. Nutriban, one of the components of the program, is a nutritious bread product designed as a convenient, ready-to-eat complete meal, being distributed to address hunger and malnutrition. It was first conceptualized by the United States Agency for International Development Food for Peace program and distributed to elementary school pupils in the Philippines in the 70s to combat child malnutrition. In another story, the first day of the transport strike called for by the pagkakaisa ng mga samahan ng tsuper at operator nationwide Piston on Monday did not paralyze the public transport system in Albay province, as two groups opted to shun the protest action. Alex Manyares, Tabaco Legazpi Transport Cooperative, Tali-Transco president, said in a statement that although their group sympathized with the sentiments of the transport sector, they still believe that there are other effective ways to address their grievance. Banyares added that they would continue to serve the public. The Bicol Intercity Transport Cooperative, BIT Co-op, also refused to join the transport stoppage, citing the need to give the public a safe and orderly transport service. In another news, the provincial government of Albay, PGA, is closely monitoring a total of 35,000 families residing around Mayon volcano due to the imminent threat of possible lahar flow triggered by the series of rains associated with the shear line. According to the latest data from the Albay Public Safety and Emergency Management Office, APSEMO, heavy rainfall could potentially impact approximately 35,200 families. That is equivalent to 132,933 individuals. This at-risk population hails from 112 barangays spanning 11 local government units, including Santo Domingo, 3 barangays, Bacacay 3, Malilipot 7, Tabaco City 13, Malinao 17, Daraga 9, Kamalig 21, Legazpi City 15, Ligao 6, Ginubatan 7, and Libon 6 barangays. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, PHIVOLCS, reports that an estimated 47 to 50 million cubic meters of volcanic materials originating from both old and new deposits of Mayon have been released. On early Monday, PHIVOLCS observed potential lahar signals using their instruments. Through confirmation is still pending. The PGA urges residents in the identified areas to stay vigilant and follow safety advisories. The local government unit is also actively coordinating with relevant agencies to ensure the swift implementation of precautionary measures. In the national scene, The House Basic Education Panel on Monday approved a measure that includes kindergarten and elementary school students in the Department of Education's largest private school scholarship program. The proposed expanded government assistance to students and teachers in private education, (NEWSCASTER) the act aims to extend the scope of the financial support provided by DepEd to private school students. Under this proposed law, private school students in all levels of basic education, not just high school, will be eligible for tuition fee subsidies. The still unnumbered substitute House bill was approved in principle, pending amendments based on DepEd's planned revision of its criteria for the recognition of private schools. The substitute bill renames the government's voucher program to the Basic Education Voucher Program to cover all private school students from kindergarten to secondary, junior and senior high school enrolled in DepEd-recognized private schools. DepEd will determine the amount of tuition fee subsidies to be given to students, and the overall budget for the voucher program will be equitably allocated and distributed among all regions based on official data sources including, but not limited to, congestion data and open seats, giving priority to underprivileged students. In another story, another transport group is planning for a strike in protest of the upcoming phase-out of traditional jeepneys, aligning with the December 31 deadline requiring their consolidation into cooperatives. Manibela President Mar Valbuena announced that the November 22 to 24 nationwide transport strike on Tuesday, a day after Progressive Transport Group Piston started its three-day protest. Valbuena said that some of their allies actually joined Piston's Monday during the Monday strike, since they were already ready to join forces. The group said that December 31 deadline will automatically take away the livelihood of drivers and operators. Operators of traditional jeepneys who fail to give up their individual franchises in favor or consolidation will reportedly be ordered to stop their operations under the PUV modernization program. As part of the Department of Transportation's DOTR PUV modernization program, there's a push to transition traditional jeepneys towards more environmentally friendly options such as minibuses and electric vehicles. However, transport groups argue that the said vehicles are too expensive, with units reaching up to 2 million pesos each. In another news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said that joint maritime and air patrols in the South China Sea between the Philippines and the United States military were launched on Tuesday. The president's announcement comes amid a rapid strengthening of ties this year between the two defense treaty allies, including a decision to almost double the number of Philippine bases accessible to the U.S. military, including some facing Taiwan. The announcement comes a day after Marcos told a forum in Hawaii the situation in the South China Sea had become more dire than it was before, with the Chinese military inching closer to the Philippine coastline. And in the news outside the country, a medical organization said Tuesday that Indian researchers found no evidence that COVID-19 vaccination was behind unexplained sudden deaths. instead pointing to the disease itself, binge drinking, and intense exercise as risk factors. The Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR) conducted a study following what it called anecdotal reports about sudden unexplained deaths among apparently healthy adults aged 18 to 45 between October 2021 and March 2023. IMCR researchers identified 29,171 sudden deaths and scrutinized the records of 729 of the cases as well as 2,916 control subjects as part of the investigation. Government data shows India suffered 45 million COVID infections and 533,295 related deaths. But experts say the actual numbers are several times higher. Many Indian hospitals ran out of beds during the peak of the COVID crisis, and many people died at home. In another story, Asian investors on Tuesday built on a Wall Street rally. As analysts said, the strong U.S. Treasury auction indicated confidence on trading floors that the Federal Reserve is finished hiking interest rates. Expectations that financial conditions will become easier in the new year as inflation comes down have fanned a rush back into risk assets in recent weeks and pushed the dollar down against its peers. All three main indexes in the New York extended their gains Monday, with the Nasdaq hitting a 22-month high due to an advance in tech giants, including Amazon, Microsoft, and Nvidia. The gains were boosted by the successful sale of 20-year U.S. Treasuries that sent yields on other notes lower. And finally, in the news outside the country, Japan government said that North Korea has issued formal notice of a satellite launch as early as Wednesday. It defies warning from South Korea and multiple UN resolutions banning Pyongyang from using ballistic missile technology. The launch would be the third attempt by the North Korea this year, after two earlier failures to put up a military reconnaissance satellite into orbit, most recently in August. The Japanese Coast Guard posted a notification on its website on Tuesday of a launch window between November 22 and December 1. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said he had instructed government ministries and agencies to make utmost efforts in collecting information and providing it to the Japanese people to demand cancellation of the launch in cooperation with relevant countries, and to make utmost efforts in preparing for unpredictable situations. Kishida added that any use of ballistic missile technology would represent a breach of UN resolutions that Japan was coordinating its response with South Korea and the United States, its partners in the trilateral defense arrangement. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, November 22, 2023. We'll be right back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer Joy Duque. And on the technical side, Chad Bobbis. And of course to our Provincial Information Officer, Attorney Marilu Duque Castillo. And under the supervision of our Governor, Attorney Edsel Grex Legman, I am Greg HALLARE. Thank you for subscribing.